Good morning and happy Tuesday. We are going to put together the law of sines today. So both cases, like what we did on Friday and what we did yesterday. I thought yesterday's lesson was going to be really hard to convey over a video, but those of you who submitted an answer, did fantastic. I'm so pleased with the 8 or 9 of you who actually turned in your answers. So thank you so much. It's really great. You guys are doing such a great job. The only big difference that some of you had in your homework answers was just how we rounded, and that's not the end of the world. I'll try to be clear in my directions for your problems in just a moment. So here are just a few reminders on the page, okay? So we are going to use law of sines when we have ASA, AAS, those are the ones from Friday, the quote-unquote easy kind. You only have one solution. You don't have to think about those. You just work them and you're done. And then we're going to have SSA, or the bad word backwards, okay? These are the ones that you've got to be very careful about, all right? So the first thing I'm going to have you do when you work the problems is identify, is it ASA, AAS, or SSA? And that will help you determine if it's an easy one or if it's not an easy one, okay? Today, we're going to do just the odds, and tomorrow we'll do the evens of the worksheet that I post, okay? If you want to go ahead and do them all, that's fine. But on the form where I'm asking you to give me your feedback so I can see how y'all are doing, I'm only going to ask for the odds. Alrighty? Okay, I'm going to put up and go over really quickly yesterday's homework. I did not work through 2 and 3 because literally all of you got it correct that responded, which is fantastic. I'm just going to go through number 1 again just to say it one more time, see if I say anything differently or whatever that might click or make better sense. So the first thing I'm going to notice is it is SSA or ASS, and so it is the one that's going to maybe have more than one solution. So we're going to find the measure of angle B, the measure of angle C, and then side B. And then we might have to do it again. We'll see once we find that first angle. Okay, so what is the first angle we want to find? We want to find angle C. So we're going to do 25 over sine 40 degrees equals 30 over sine C. Okay, so we're going to cross multiply. So 30 times sine 40 equals 25 times sine C. And then we're going to divide by 25 to isolate the sine C. And then we're going to do the inverse of whatever we get. I'm about to type it in the calculator now. So 30 times sine 40 divide by 25, and you get 0.771345, etc. And then I'm going to do second sine second negative, and that gives me 50.47 or 50.5 degrees. All right. Okay, so I'm going to write it in here, and then we're going to ask ourselves the question, is that angle greater or less than our original angle? So if it's greater than, we know we have 2 solutions. Okay, and it is. So 50.5 is greater than 40, so I'm going to come over here and I'm going to write measure of angle B, the measure of angle C, and then B. Again, just so I do not forget, I've got to do a second triangle. And then I'm going to come down here and I'm going to draw the second triangle, okay? I draw it exactly the same way I have the first, with the same measurements, but the only thing I do differently is this angle right here. So I am going to do 180 minus the 50.5. So let's type that in, and I get 129.5 degrees. Okay? And so then we can finish the problem out. So to find the angle B's, it should be pretty straightforward because we have two angles. So I'm going to do 40 plus 129.5 and then subtract that from 180, and that should give me 10.5. It's a very small angle, but that's okay. We can have small angles. And then I'm going to do the same thing back in the first triangle. So I'm going to do 40 plus 50.5, subtract that from 180, and I get 89.5 degrees. Okay? And then to find side B, I don't have a ton of room, but maybe I'll try to slide it in, squeeze it in some space over here. To find side B, I'm going to do it the same way in both triangles. I just have to be careful to use the proper measurements. Okay, I'm going to zoom in and do it over here. So to find side B, I'm going to do, which is right here, I am going to do, oh, and I found B. I need to put it in here, 10.5 degrees. So I'm going to do 25 over sine 40 degrees equals B over sine 10.5. And then that becomes an easy problem like Friday. So we just times by sine 10.5. We don't have to worry about doing inverse or anything like that. We can just type it in and be done. So I'm going to type it in. 25 divided by sine 40. And then times by sine 10.5. And we get 7.08 or 7.009. I shouldn't say O. Okay, so that's how that one is found. We're going to do the same thing for this B, side B. I got to put this in so I don't forget. Okay, I'm going to squeeze it in up here. I'm sorry, having to make it so small. All right, so we're going to do 25 over sine 40. That should be the same for both triangles, as you notice. But then this is the part that's different. B over sine 89.5. Okay, so we're going to times both sides by sine 89.5. Okay, and let's type it in. 25 divided by sine 40. And then times by sine 89.5. And you should get 38.89 or 38. Yeah, I'll just leave it like that. 38.89. Okay, so some of you didn't even need that, but so I hope you fast forwarded. But if you did need it, there it is. One more time on how to find the two triangles. Number 3, you get an error. Please don't write the word error. None of you did, which is great. You can do this shorthand. That shorthand is no solution. We've done that before. And then when we did the unit circle, or you can just simply write out no solution. I asked you to do that in the form. And then number 2, because the first angle that you find is 10.4 degrees, it's less than this 25, and so therefore you know there's only one triangle. Okay? All right, so here are the problems you're going to do today. I am not going to work through all of these with you, but I just want to kind of start them to make sure you understand the way I would like for you to think through these, okay? So if we were in class, I would say, please, please, please do not forget to, I'm sorry, I'm being very indecisive with my colors. Do not forget to write what the shortcut is. So ASA, AAS, or SSA. Okay, did I say the same thing twice? I don't know. But that's the first thing I want you to identify, because then you'll know, is it a hard one or is it an easy one? So on number 1, we have a side, we have an angle, and we have an angle. So is this ASA or AAS? Well, is that side between the two angles? And the answer is no, it is not between them. So it is AAS. Now, is this the easy one or the complicated one? This one is easy, okay? Which means you don't have to check for that second triangle or anything. You just work it and you keep going, okay? So number 3 is similar, but it's ASA because you have an angle and the side here is between these two angles. But again, what do we know about ASA? It's an easy one. Okay, so you don't have to worry about checking for more triangles. Now, for the last 3 here, you do not necessarily know right off the top of the bat because you need to probably sketch a picture. Okay, all of these triangles are going to be ABC. All right, so B is 108 degrees, C is 38 degrees, and side B is 51 miles. And so then ask yourself, is that angle, side, etc.? Or not side, angle, side, excuse me, that'll be next. So this is angle, angle, side, which is the easy kind as well. Okay, you kind of get that? So far we haven't had any difficult ones. You may get one with 7 or 9, so I'll let you get to that. But that's how I want you to start them so that then you can kind of think through this right here, what we talked about at the beginning, so you know whether to check for those possible other solutions or not. Okay? All right, so here's 1 and 3. If you want to pause and work those, I'll also upload this to the Google Classroom. And then here are 5, 7, and 9. Please respond to the Google form so I can kind of know how you guys are doing. Awesome. Miss you guys. Hope y'all are doing well.